And in the main event, we got Jiri Prochazka versus Dominick the Devastator Reyes. Dominick coming in with a record of 12-2, 31 years old, 6'4" with a 77-inch reach. Jiri 27-3, 28 years old, 6'4" as well with an 80-inch reach. So he's going to have a slight reach advantage. Going into this one, Jiri's coming off a nice TKO win over Ozdemir, where he was seen with getting into some trouble in the beginning of that round. He was eating a lot of shots from Ozdemir, and in typical Ozdemir fashion, rushing straight in, and got caught with an overhand right. Before that, the man that was his debut in the UFC, and before that, he was wrecking havoc over there in Risen, beating a lot of lower level fighters, but they were experienced fighters. He beat Carl Albrechtsen at one point about 4 years ago, which is aging pretty well. That man's doing work over there in Bellator. Even has a win over the lightweight heavy champ in Bellator now. So yeah, he got some good wins over there. Jake Hune, Brandon Hostley, CB Dalloway. That's kind of the aged one. But yeah, the man's when he does win, he's obliterating these guys. He's knocking them out. Definitely got some heavy hands. On the flip side with Dominick, he's coming off his first TKO loss where he got knocked out by Jan. It was a big knockout, man. I don't think too many people see it ending that way. But that's 2 losses in a row for him. Before that, he did lose to John Jones. Prior to that, he did win big knockout over Weidman, and so on and so forth. Going into this one, it's going to be a stand-up battle. I don't really have a lean too heavy on either way. I would more or less, I don't know, man. I'm kind of staying away from this one. I got a few spots already earlier in the card that I like already. Who do you like on this one?
For this one, for Dominick Reyes versus Jiri, Dominick's coming at a plus 110, Jiri at a minus 140, so it's close to a pick'em. Dominick 12-2, 31, 6'4". Like I said, he has a lot of big fights on his record. Coming off that bad loss to Jan. Then that John Jones fight, was arguably won that fight. It was one of John's toughest fights. He beat Weidman before that. That's when Weidman, came up to 205 and was just really looking slow. And then he won that split against Ozdemir. And man, Ozdemir's tough, man. And he gave Dominick a good fight in that match. OSP, he got a win against OSP, a win against Cannonier. But out of 12 of his wins, 7 of those coming by knockout. Reyes, he mixes in a lot of strikes, has good movement. He loves those body kicks. He has good power, but he does tend to overextend at times, which you can catch him. And he does chase his opponents a lot. That's what I did notice. Is if he does feel like he's got you hurt at all, he's going to be running after you, and that's something that I don't like against him to do against Jiri. But against Johnny Bones, he did have the fight of his life. Like I said, many thought he won, including myself. But he can't get caught with a hot one, and just like he did against Jan and Jiri, he is liable to catch you with that hot one. For Jiri, he has a list of fights as well. Not many losses, only 3. One of them coming to Mola Wall by TKO in 2015. However, he did get that one back by TKO as well in 2019. But he's a showman. He looks like a extra from 300. I can't believe we got him and Kutsulaba, crazy asses, on the same card. But he does leave himself open so much. He keeps his hand down, sticks his chin out. He loves the counter. He's a big counter fighter. He has a great straight right hand, big power, but he does get hit. He does get hit quite a bit as well, and a little too much for me to trust him in this fight. I do think Reyes with the movement is going to be a little more crisp, and he can tag him up outside, and maybe possibly even get a flash KO. But I do like Reyes boxing him up in this one. And winning the fight. I'm gonna lean towards Reyes. Not huge as far or that confident as far as like going big on him. Like you mentioned before, there's some better spots on this card down below in the prelims and earlier in the main card. But it should be a very fun fight. I'm gonna go Reyes, but also I did see the over and under. Over 1.5. They have this. This is a main event. Over 1.5 is only minus 150. So if they can withstand the first round flurry, there's a good chance that over could be a good hit. But as far as the pick, I'm going Reyes.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. Just because Dominick's coming off his first knockout loss, so might be very tentative. I imagine he's going to be very tentative. I don't think he's going to go out there trying to go wing shots, shot for shot with Jiri on this one when he's just coming off a fresh knockout. First time he's ever felt something like that. So yeah, that 1.5 over 1.5 definitely looks live. But going past that, I don't think this fight's going the distance at all. I think someone's getting finished for sure. That line is juice. It's minus 350. So if you got a way to parlay that, I would definitely do it. Unfortunately, my book doesn't offer it, but I know a lot of people's do. But that would be something I would definitely look for. If I had to do a pure pick, I would take Jiri, man. I don't like betting on fighters coming back off knockouts. It's just something that I don't like doing. It's one of those rules I'm trying to go by, although they can bite you in the ass. I also had a rule where I don't like betting fighters that are off 2 years layoff, and I'm kind of losing that one more or less recently. So it's not something you want to get stuck in your ways, but on this one, man, I don't really like Dominick coming back off that knockout, man, especially with a power puncher like Jiri.
All right, so on the main event here, I'm going Dominick. Rock's going Jiri. This is going to be a tough one. Going to be another great card. Fight night at the Apex. Thanks for listening, guys.